Hi guys, welcome back to the Kop TV, the voice of football's most famous stand. What a win that was last night, people. I was at the game. Incredible scenes that we saw at Anfield. Maybe we see some more on Sunday. Joining me for this Liverpool versus Manchester City match preview, I could only call one man. And making his 6th or 7th appearance now on the Kop TV. Big him up. It's Big Steve. How are we, fella? Good to have you back on.
I'm all right, mate. Yeah. Footballing wise, I'm not all right, but me personally, I'm all right.
Well, I care more about that, to be honest, mate. So it's good to hear that you're good. Like this video, people. Get your comments in, your lineup predictions, your score predictions, and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm going to be a bit shameless here, Steve. I'm going to tell them how many subs that we're on because we're really pushing close to 50. So if they're not subscribing, we've got 49,276. So guys, if you are one of these people that haven't subscribed, get that sub button pressed and definitely go and sub on to Big Steve as well. He's just hit 25k, is it? Big up to you, bro. It's a tough old slog, YouTube, and I think people compare themselves to channels and whatnot, but you're on your own journey. And Big Steve, if I'm honest, you know, obviously we've got a big rivalry with our teams, but in terms of real fans out there that aren't afraid to put it on the line and take whatever consequences, this is your man here, Big Steve. So as much as we're rivals, I've got to say I do respect your footballing journey, my friend. Massive shout out to our sponsors on this video, Proton VPN. You've just seen the advert at the start. If you want to get involved, links there, QR codes there. Make sure you do. Right, Steve. I mean, wow, what a time for City to come to Anfield, my friend.
Yeah, for you.
For us, that is. 5 defeats in a row, and then it was Arne Slot's former team in Feyenoord that made it 3-3 the other night. You were at the game. Did you hear any of the Arne Slot, la la? What did you think of all that to start with?
To be honest, there's 3 or 4 Feyenoord lads that come to the games with us in Europe. They watch City abroad with us. So I know quite a bit about Feyenoord and their fans. They're great fans, you know what I mean? Really good. So, yeah, man, they're bigging him up, you know, because they've probably got a bit of grief, say, you know, Arne Slot's left you and that. And I bet the rival fans in Holland were expecting him to come to the Premier League and do a Ten Hag and end up shit. But he's running with it. So they're bigging him up. You know, fair play. It's only like you guys. If you went somewhere where Jurgen Klopp was, you'd probably big him up, old Jurgen. But no, yeah, Feyenoord, we were 3-0 up. We were cruising. Never looked like getting beat. Nothing in the world suggested we were going to, get even concede. And then you concede one, you think, right, all right, then let's just relax. 3-1's fine. 3-2, you think, shit. Yeah, 3-2. We're going to get a bit of criticism, we'll win, but it'll just be one of them. Oh, you only just won. And then 3-3, it was just like, wow. I was just thinking, unbelievable. They're defending a high line. You're 3-0 up. He's made the subs. He's brought the kids on, which is fine. You know, I'd have probably done the same. Didn't look in trouble. And then they caught us out, but we've not been the same all season. I said it on the Big Six. People were saying I was taking the piss because we were second, but I've watched City win 4 titles in 4 years, and this team, you couldn't get a team that's further off that. It can't press. It's getting pressed. It's conceded 17 goals in the last 6 games.
Oh, that, mate. That's unbelievable. That number
it's a joke, mate. And teams haven't got that. Once you get beat once, the next couple of times after that, usually you put it right. So people realise that, yeah, they're dangerous, this team. But when you're on a run of defeats, teams can smell blood and they're like, you know what? They're not the same. Let's go for them. And then it gets worse and worse. And we aren't the same. And we're miles off it. So teams are just coming with no fear. We've lost 1 game at the Etihad in the league in 2 years. So we can't moan as a fan base. You know what I mean? We've won 4 league titles on a roll. We cannot moan as a fan base, but we are allowed to be unhappy with it because the club have set a standard in this football club now, which is way up here. And we used to get criticised in the early Mancini Pellegrini days for having that typical City mentality where if something went wrong, the City fans would panic. And then people used to say, you're not that club anymore. You need to bring your mentality up. So now we've brought our mentality up to here and we've dropped to here. Apparently now we're not allowed to moan about that either. So it's like, it's a bit of a weird feeling. a lot of the younger generation fans are having severe head loss, meltdowns, can't handle it. A lot of the older ones are having a bit of a perverted, I think they kind of like it, you know what I mean? In a way where it brings you back down to earth. Me, myself, I'm rolling with it. I don't give a shit. You know me. I'm there through it all. I don't give a shit. I don't care. I'm there week in, week out anyway. I don't mind. But people got to realise it's part of football. There's 90 odd other clubs in this league that would swap tomorrow where we are. And it's just it's football swings and roundabouts. You're going to get it. And you got to take it on the chin. We've been strolling around like Lord Muck for 4 years. Didn't give a fuck about anyone. So you can't start crying when you get a smack in the face, and that's what it is, a smack in the face. And you know, there's going to be a few more smacks coming, I think.
Yeah, and when you look at the way you've been defeated in these games with that high line, with conceding a lot of goals, it's just so uncharacteristic for City. But is that a result of just time, Mother Nature? You know, when you look at Liverpool in 2021, the year after we won the league, obviously there was a big drop off, but a lot of people said, well, yeah, Henderson's a year older, Fabinho's a year older, Wijnaldum's a year older, Van Dijk, they were saying that then, they're not saying it now, but you know, the Gundogan's who's obviously come back in, the Kevin De Bruyne's, the Kyle Walkers, the John Stones, they are pushing a little bit age-wise. Is that just a natural thing, or is it a bit deeper than that?
Well, with City, one thing they have been good at is freshening it up. If you look at the players they've lost over the last 10 years,
they're the best at that.
David Silva, Aguero, Vincent Kompany, Yaya Toure, Joe Hart, Zabaleta, you know, all these players we lost, and we never had a drop off. So they always seem to be 2 or 3 transfer windows ahead. But if you look at the last 2 transfer windows from City, it's been very uncharacteristic of them. They've got players from within the group. They've got Haaland, etc. It's fine. But in the summer, I think there was a real possibility that Pep was going to leave. So I think the board thought, you know what, we've got a decent squad. We've won the league. We'll add 1 or 2. We'll get through this season, and then the new manager can come in. He can have a war chest and go again. But Oscar Bob broke his leg. Rodri got his ACL. We never replaced Alvarez. And then now you're thinking, oh shit, it turns from looking good on paper to like really thin. You know what I mean? And we've got away with it last couple of years with the squad. We had De Bruyne injured for 6 months. We had Haaland injured for 2 months. We got away with it. We had replacements. But Rodri's always been the central key to everything, defending and attack. You take him out, we just have nobody there. There's not many around Europe that can touch him. So that's a big problem. But I think there's been some big mistakes made from the top to the bottom of the club, and it's left us short. But you know yourself, when Liverpool drops off, nobody's giving you any sympathy. You know, nobody's going to say, oh, well, fair, where they've got no Rodri. No one cares. They just see Man City struggling, bang, 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 bang. And you can't blame them for that. But for me as a City fan personally, I'm just saying I believe there's been mistakes made. Now Pep's committed to the club, which is fine. But I feel like we're in a mad position in January where we've got to go and buy players, and we're probably going to have to overpay because these teams are going to think, well, if you want him in January, it's going to be an extra 20 mil. You know what I mean? 100%. So
that's the City side of things, the context around the last few games, which does include Pep making a very weird, I don't even want to call it a joke about self-harm. He's obviously got cuts and scratches on his face. He has come out after, to be fair to him, and put out a bit of a PR statement that, you know, defends what he said. But I've never, as a rival fan, you got to understand, Steve, like, we've never seen him like this ever. And this is after signing a new contract. So he's clearly upset. He's clearly physically, you know, not himself. And now he's got to come to Anfield on Sunday. And from the Liverpool point of view, yeah, you're right. What a time to have City round. And I think if we win this one, it becomes 11 points. Do you think, I mean, what I think, I've been hurt so many times by City that I until it's mathematically impossible. And people hate that. They're all trying to get me to say it with chest on DR. They all want me to go out there, but I'm not AFTV. I don't move like that, right? I've been hurt. AFTV think they've been hurt. We've been hurt, right? Yeah. 1 point twice in a row, you know already. So do you think if Liverpool win this game with that 11-point gap, what's next after that? Is it done? Is it clawable? Can you come back? Tell me, what happens if you lose this?
Listen, in previous seasons, 11 points wouldn't have been, from a City fan, we'd have been thinking, okay, we can catch that because we can go on 14, 15 game runs. But this season, this team ain't got that run in them. That's me being honest. So Liverpool could lose 4 games, but thinking Manchester City are going to win every game from now to the end of the season, they're having a laugh. This is not the one. It's one of them. I feel like we're too far off it and we're not good enough. And that's the thing. We're not good enough. We're not that team. You know, people can see that. You don't lose 5 games in a row and win a title. You don't concede 17 goals in 6 games and win a title. They're not that team. So if it's going to, listen, I'll never give up. You never will until mathematically possible. No City fan should ever give up because we've seen it before. But if you're asking me now, you beat us on Sunday, you should just forget about us. We ain't the ones to worry about. But the big thing what everyone's missing out on in this title race is this was supposed to be Arsenal's year. This was the Arsenal. If Man City slip,
this is the year Arsenal are supposed to win the league.
Yeah. If Man City slip, we're there. Once Pep fucks off, we're going to win this league. Yeah. Arteta's that close. Arne Slot's just marched right through the fucking Premier League and just ran away with it and right under their nose. So people shouldn't be looking at Man City to be stopping Arne Slot. They need to be looking at this great Arsenal team that are only, they were 6 years into a plan. You know, that's what I'd be more worried about. And by the way, this is an Arsenal team that's below us. We've lost 5 in a row. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I can't understand. But I'm telling you now, as an honest Man City fan, we're well off it. And if we've got to take a step back and regroup and start again, then after 4 titles on the trot, we've got credit in the bank. We'll have to step back and leave this one. And you know me, I always say it, whoever wins the league fucking deserves it, because you can blag a Champions League, you can fall through and get a good look, you can blag it. You can't blag a league. You can't blag it. And this guy, 100%. Beginning of the season, they were trying to get our thoughts on the overlap. And I said, look, it's 50-50. We don't know what he's going to do. We don't know anything about him, which I didn't at the time. But one thing I've got to say and respect about him is he didn't come into Liverpool and panic like most managers do and go, I need to stamp my authority on this club straight away and get my own people in and play my way. He came in and thought, you know what? I've got a good set of players. I'm going to sit back. I'm going to relax. I'm going to change the way we play a little bit, be a little bit more chilled out. Because I feel like Liverpool can control games now. I feel like Jurgen was very much rock and roll, and that Real Madrid game last night would have been a 4-3. Yeah. But I feel like Arnie they got the goals, they calmed it down, they slowed it down, and then they played it around a bit and just killed Madrid slowly, soft death. You know what I mean? And I feel like he's done brilliant. But you know the game, he's got to get it over the line. You've got to get it over the line, but you've got a real big chance of putting one of the big boys out of the picture at weekend, because I do believe if you beat us weekend, then it's too much. You've got to lose 4 games. We've got to win every game. It's not going to happen, mate. We're getting slapped off Bournemouth, Brighton, fucking Feyenoord are scoring 3 against us. Tottenham got beat off Ipswich, came and scored 4. That's not a title. It's not a title-winning team. You can't imagine a DVD at the end of the season with us lifting the title and then watching that first 6 months where we're getting slapped. That doesn't register in your brain. Right. Do you know what I mean?
And like you say, this isn't your first rodeo. You know, and you have that feeling that when your team isn't up to it, and when you're looking around at the other teams, you're going, this year we're not going to win. We've won 4 in a row, but this year, like you say, if Liverpool do start running away with it, I don't think you need to look at City and say, hold that City. You need to be saying, hang on up, Mr. Arteta, Mr. Trust the process. Where are you in this? You know, what are you doing?
We're covering over their cracks at the minute because everyone's laughing at City, rightly so. But come on, they were one piece away from the jigsaw. They bought Declan Rice. He was the missing link. They fucked it up. This year, it was, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, And I think Arsenal have got a good side. I do. But I just think they've got a little mentality issue. And I think that Liverpool are just efficient and they're doing the business. But I feel like I've watched them sometimes and I feel like they could have maybe lost or dropped a couple of points here and there. But listen, you can't moan at what he's doing. And like you said, there's no worse a place on planet Earth when you've lost fucking 5 games in a row where you want to be going next. There's only 2. Burnabout or fucking Anfield, and we're going to Anfield. So,
and we've just beat Real Madrid as well.
Exactly. So fucking bring it on. You know what I mean? But God help them.
Are you going to be there on Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be there Sunday. Yeah, wow, whatever. You know that.
You're going to be there.
It's never been a happy hunting ground for us when we've had all the boys back anyway. So even, you know what I mean?
I've just seen a stat there. Obviously, you beat us with no fans in the stadium in 2021, but the last win with fans in the stadium, 2003, and you had Nicholas Anelka and Robbie Fowler up top.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What was it? 3-1 or something that game?
2-1.
I'm pretty sure Joey Barton had a good game that game as well.
Well, that you needed to win to get in the Champions League, and we won.
Yeah, no, you really.
And it was Anelka that scored the goal, who you didn't sign.
Mate, that's one of in recent Liverpool history. Imagine doing this, right? So you get Anelka in. We almost win the league. We finished second. You got Owen Heskey. I think Fowler had gone to Leeds, so we brought Anelka in. And then he smashes it. And at the end of the season, we go, right, should we get Anelka in full time? They go, no, let's pay 10 mil for El Hadji Diouf. He's just had a good World Cup with Senegal.
Exactly.
And then Anelka comes back and dumps on us. So fair play to him. But from a Liverpool point of view, team news, we're still waiting to hear the latest from Conor Bradley's injury. I mean, bro, I was at the game last night. What a tackle that was. Wow. What a tackle on...
How good is it to see a young kid like that, yeah? Smashing into Mbappe and that on the big
biggest
scene.
cheer of the night, Steve. I'm getting goosebumps.
It was a top tackle, man. I loved it. And I seen his little face afterwards and I thought, he's definitely getting his dad to get that on a canvas in the living room, him going through Mbappe.
That's getting framed 100%. And then Mbappe, when he took him down, that was the biggest cheer of the night. And then he got the assist as well. It's his first Champions League start, man. And even me, I said Joe Gomez should start that at right back. We need that experience. Nah, Conor Bradley shut me and everyone else up. So we're waiting to see the extent. There is an argument to say, well, Trent will probably just come back in anyway, but he did hold the back of his leg. And when you do that, you're thinking, it's a hammy, that's 2 or 3 weeks. But we'll see. Konate as well at the end of the game, it looked like a serious knee injury. We are hearing today that it doesn't look as serious as maybe people think. So that's a plus. So the team prediction is going to be a bit all over the place. But I mean, Kelleher as well, bro. I mean, that save and his form in general. Does Alisson even walk back into the team? I'm not even sure at the minute. So Quiveen Kelleher starts for me on Sunday. He does. He deserves it. And at what point do you say, well, you've got to come out so Alisson can go back in? If he keeps playing like this, I don't know. It could be a tough one for Ali to get back in. So he's in goal. I mean, I can't see Conor Bradley playing now on Sunday after that. So I'll go Trent to come back in. And this would actually be the first time Trent's played City at Anfield in 4 years. He's always injured for this game. So I'll go with him. If we're hearing that the Konate news isn't as bad, then I'll go Konate and Virgil. If it is bad, then Gomez and Virgil. Robbo, again, caught out for the penalty last night. There's only so many times you can kind of get away with giving a penalty away and your keeper saves it. He actually said to him he owes him a dinner, which I like. A bit of banter there. But I'll go with Robbo for the big game. Tsimikas is out anyway. Gomez could play there, but I'd still stick with Robbo. I mean, Ryan Gravenberch, what we're seeing from him, Steve, I mean, no one expected this season. And especially his partnership with Maka, who goes under the radar quite a lot, but popped up in a big way last night and actually missed a sitter after he scored. He should have had another one. And then it's a toss-up. At the minute, Curtis Jones has that shirt number on the wall. I think Szoboszlai needs to... I know he scored last week, a really tidy finish, to be fair to him. But I go with Curtis Jones for this one. I think he was everywhere last night. And he's finally getting that run of games that he deserves. So Curtis will play. And then here's the conundrum. Do you go with Nunes, who, you know, isn't the best goal scorer, but can certainly stretch the game, can certainly run in behind. And his actual link-up play is getting a lot better. Last night, there was a moment where he's absolutely twisted up Jude Bellingham at left back and then cuts it inside and he's on his bike, ready to get up the other end. So I go Nunes. I mean, we have been playing Luis Diaz through the middle recently, which I've been a big fan of, but I think him against Walker, I mean, he absolutely pulled his pants down last year at Anfield with that phase of play. So I go Diaz, Nunez and Salah. And then obviously off the bench, you can bring on Szoboszlai like we did last night when we needed to just control the game a bit more for the legs, the energy. You could bring on a Cody Gakpo who scored off the bench last night. You could bring on, obviously, Jota. We're waiting for him to come back. Harvey Elliott's now back on the bench. So, yeah, we're in a really good place, man. And I think whatever team Liverpool put out at the minute, you almost forget that there's injuries. Not that we're, talking about them so much. I mean, I've had Flex and Robbie saying to me, oh, you beat Real Madrid's B team. I mean, if that's their B team, that's our B team as well, in a lot of respects. So, yeah, that's the team I'm going for. Let me know in the chat. Do you agree? Do you disagree? For City, though, tell us who's starting this game. You must know.
We've got no midfield because that's the biggest problem. We've got the physicality in the midfield is dead. And anyone puts it on us in the middle of the park, we haven't got anything there. We might have a bit of good news that Ruben Diaz might be back. So he definitely helps us because we're all over at the minute. You just need a bit of help. I would go for, I'd play Edison in there. I'd play Josko Vardiol at left back. I'd probably play Nathan Ake and Diaz at centre back, and I'd probably play Akanji at right back and go to the back four of centre backs that we did when we won the treble. That's what I'd be tempted to do. Maybe bring in Akanji into midfield a little bit to try and as a bit of physical presence in there. It's going to be Gundogan. I would play Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, and Nunes. And the only reason I'm thinking that is because Gundo's going to get murdered. So if he's got Bernardo and Nunes either side of him, it's a little bit more energy. That's all I can think of. Energy.
Nunes has been good this season, to be fair.
Yeah, he drives with it, and he can get you out of a sticky situation. I would probably then play Jack Grealish on the left for the sheer factor that he can keep the ball and it can keep us up the right end of the pitch when we need to, and he can also rattle a bit of the crowd and become a bit of a fucking shithouse if we need to. Yeah. I'd have Erling up front, and then on the right hand side, I would probably go on the right. I'd probably start Foden on the right, but if we were under the cosh, I'd probably put Savinho there just for an outlet of a bit of pace if we're getting penned in to look at that long ball and catch Liverpool on the break. But it's going to be peak, man. It's going to be peak. It would be typical City of the olden days to go there and win when we're not expected to win. But we've just got to keep going, man. We've got to just keep going. It'll work its way out. And we know where we are this season. Get through it. Get to January. Get some fresh bodies in. And you just got to make sure that mentality doesn't go, because it's so hard to get it, but it can go so quick.
That's it. Once you've been at the top for that long, the hardest thing is not winning the league. It's winning it the year after and the year after and the year after. And it's never been done before. So the respect of maintaining that level is one of sport's hardest things to do. Forget football. You look at basketball and, the American sports, how focused and concentrated and in form. You've got to be lucky with no injuries as well. And at this season, it just feels like that's all crumbling down a bit for City. So I'm going to stick with my score prediction that I said on DR Sports just now. I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. Defensively, I think in the last few games at Anfield with City, apart from that John Stones corner last year, we've actually done really well. There was a couple of years ago where I think it was our last win against you. Salah went through from that Alisson assist, and I think Joe Gomez was man of the match that day, locked up Erling. So there's listen, what I don't want to do is get ahead of myself and just say, listen, football isn't played on paper, right? Everyone here is saying, oh, you should be beating them 3-0. Nah, that's not how it works, mate. I'm a bit more switched on than these Arsenal fans because I know that isn't how it works. So there's no point in me coming on here and saying, yeah, we're going to do what Tottenham did. If Tottenham can do it, we're better than Tottenham. So that means that, no, it doesn't work like that. So at any moment, Foden can get on it, brush himself in between two, find Haaland, and that bang, 1-0. I still believe that Man City could even win the league. I'm just too hurt by it. So I'm going to go with 2-0, bro. And again, like what you said, if that happens, City could be, mathematically, it could be very tight for them to bring it back. I can't see a draw. I think this is a great chance for Liverpool to smell blood and go and attack. Like you said, the Sharks last year, we might do a bit of our own sharking in this game.
Yeah, the Sharks are gone at the minute. They're well off the coast. No one's seen them for a while. Now. They're well off the coast. Yeah, they've turned into fucking Finding Nemo fish now. Them little orange ones. So it's like, yeah, can't even go with the Sharks anymore.
They're the goldfish now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's grim
so yeah,
at the minute.
I'm going 2-0, and that's based on the form, the way we can control games, the way we can keep clean sheets. So that's what I'm going for. What are you going for, man? Give me what you think and what you hope.
I can't tell you what I think. I can't. But I'm going to go with Man City win 1-0.
Oh,
I'm going with it. Just for the masses, just out of pure pride. There's nothing left. I'm out here on my own on the rock. I'm bleeding to death. I'm just going 1-0 City. I can see Erling Haaland just having one chance, one goal.
Deflection.
Man City, shut up shop, park the bus, totally against what we do.
You parking the bus, mate. What is the world
defend. The Kop getting all frustrated and that, and a bit nervous, and then Man City holding on. I could just picture the lads coming to the away end at the end, giving it the fist pumping and that, and then me having a nice drive back down the 62, back home, smiling. But then again, that could be me dreaming. Then I wake up and eat my cornflakes.
Then you'd wake up and turn the PS5 off.
What I'm thinking is that anything below 6 would be nice.
Oh, come on, Steve.
Yeah. Listen.
Come on, mate.
I've just seen one of the worst Feyenoord teams put 3 past us. I've seen a Tottenham team that's terrible, put 4. And I've seen Sporting Lisbon, who I went to Lisbon and told everybody, yeah, they're a very poor side, them. And they went, oh, they put 4 past you, like they do. But they're not listening to what I'm saying. And I thought anyone who's half decent kills them. Arsenal go there. Ask Turkish what I said. You murder them. No, they got Goykeres. No, you murder them. Trust me. Murder them. Do you know what I mean? We murdered them a couple of years before 5-0 there. But we're not the same, man. We're not the same. If Liverpool put it on us, you're going to see. You'll see. Listen, for the City fans, we're going to win 1-0. For everybody else out there, watch this defending. It'll blow your mind. It'll blow your mind.
Jesus Christ, how times have changed. I've never had Big Steve on the channel speaking like this before.
And I can't even like.
But you're being real. You're saying what you see.
Man. I've got to be real. I'm going there. I'm not going to enjoy it. I usually go there and I enjoy it because I think, you know what, we're toe to toe. And I always enjoy Anfield, mate. I like them stadiums. I love the battles. I look forward to the game. But I'm just thinking, fuck. It reminds me of years ago, PTSD, when I used to go to grounds and think, we don't belong here at the minute. We're fucked. But
imposter syndrome.
It's the mentality, man. I don't mind us going there and giving it our all and getting beat off a better side. No problem with that at all. I can take that. But when their heads are down and you can't have your heads down, you've got the world champion fucking badge in the middle of your chest and you won 4 leagues. No one's feeling sorry for you. You've got to go and show a bit of balls, man. If we're not good enough, we're not good enough. But at least have a go.
Yeah, there you go, man. Well, listen, whatever happens, I'm sure it'll be a good game for the neutral, for Liverpool fans. I'm really looking forward to this one. Isn't it mad, right? Oasis get back together and Man City play like the mid-90s again. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, man. It's just, we've got to roll with it.
Tell you what, here's one for you. I'm at Heaton Park on, I can't remember if it's the 19th or the 20th of June. But if you're there, I'd love to experience that with you, man, because that's away from football. We can actually just enjoy that.
I've got a few tickets. I don't know what days I'm going to. I know I've got one at Wembley I'm going to as well. I went to watch his son the other night. Gene, he plays in a band called Villanelle. I went to watch him. I was talking to him for a bit.
My sister, a bit off topic, but my sister's now Peter Crouch's stylist and Pretty Green. Yeah. And she's at 4 Marketing, so Pretty Green, Stone Island and all that. And she was at a Pretty Green event the other night with that Gene, and she was chatting to him. But
he's a good lad. Yeah. He's just totally not. He's a Man City fan, like his dad. Obviously, he loves City, but he's got that mad Cockney accent, so he doesn't come across like his dad. You know what I mean? So it's funny, but he's doing his own thing, and fair play. But yeah, we feel like we're back at Main Road a little bit, but we'll get there, man. We'll get there, and like I say, all the best on Sunday, and I'll speak to you Monday.
100%. We will. Listen, guys, make sure you go and subscribe to Big Steve's channel. You see him on the Big Six. I mean, he got his first cooking in about 4 years from Skullduggery. So, like I said to Steve before, it's all right. You take that. At least you're not getting cooked every week like everyone else. So, listen, like I said, really weird to have Steve on in this moment, in this time, in this period. But Liverpool fans, we must smell blood. We must go to Anfield and do the damn business. And then don't forget, you know, next week it's not easy as well. We got Newcastle away. You got Everton away on Saturday, and then I'm going to Girona in a couple of weeks. So that was, and again, it might be a bit of a dead rubber, that one, but we'll see. Steve, top man, I really appreciate your time as always. Make sure you go and follow up the big dog, and we'll see you on the channel soon, my friend.
See you later.
Take care, brother.